everybody, welcome to my week 1 game. This is going to be a redo of that video that I uploaded yesterday because the audio levels were all off and the image was way too big on the team builder. So yeah, we're going to just go ahead and try and make this one a little more concise, as I'm sure you've already seen the results from that game, but we'll just go ahead and rehash everything and try and make this one a little more concise and a little more audible. So yeah, going into this, my week 1 opponent is the coach of the Okoya Blazers, Sage Mode AD. He has on his team Latios with Omniterra, Mega Mawile, Quaquaval, Thundurus, Thundurus T, Nidoqueen, Weavile, Skeledirge, Dunsparce, and Dipplin. That's what I think is called, Dipplin. So overall, he's got a really solid top. He's got a really solid top 6 that is probably going to be brought to every game, and then Skeledirge is just an amazing 7th option. The Dunsparce is a solid rocker, defensive or offensive, and then Dipplin is just there in case you need a water resist or a ground check that isn't Latios. I think it's a pretty solid top 9. I really wanted Latios in the draft, and he picked it right before me, but I ended up with the Terra Annihilate that I'm going to be bringing to this game. So it's pretty good situation, I think. I ended up with a pretty good, well, I don't think it's a consolation prize. I actually think it's probably better than Latios, but anyway, getting right into it. I'm bringing 40 Adamant in my attack, because that is enough for a 150 base power Terra Ghost Rage Fish to Oko, a Skeledirge with at least max HP and I think a good amount of defense. I've got Drain Punch there to cover the Dunsparce, and then Bulk Up and Rest. Just pretty straightforward set. It's like the standard Spadef set, but I took a bit of the Spadef out and I made it Adamant and put in a bit more attack. So yeah, it's just pretty straightforward. It kind of just runs train on his team, especially with Veil Up, which I'll get into next. I brought a speedy Ninetales to outspeed Thundy T with Aurora Veil, Dual Stab, and Baton Pass. I brought Moonblast Blizzard instead of Freeze Dry Toxic. I was originally going to go with Freeze Dry Toxic, but that left me way more vulnerable to Mawile. I think getting more damage off with Blizzard is a good thing, and Moonblast hits Weavile way harder than any other move would, obviously, because it's super effective. So I decided to roll with this. Baton Pass was mandatory because I need to be able to get this thing out. And then Aurora Veil is just really nice to the rest of my team. Next up, we've got Banded Palafins and Headbutts there because Quaquaval is the biggest threat to my team, and I didn't think Dipplin was coming, so I put Ice Punch off, and I put Flip Turn on. Otherwise, this mon just kind of goes crazy into his team. I expect some kind of Terra type on Latios to be able to check this, but still, regardless, this thing hits like a truck. Next, we have Fizdef Tinglu. I picked this over Ferrothorn. I shouldn't have probably not gone Chople. I should have gone with the Roselli Berry in hindsight, but either way, this lets me take a +6 Focus Blast and Throat Chop down the Thundy in case that becomes an issue, or, any fighting move that might be a problem, like if he close combats me instead of Wave Crashes me, because he expects a Palafin pivot or something. I can take advantage of that and just Earthquake him down or Body Press through, especially if he goes -1 defense. So, yeah. Stealth Rocks are nice into his team, and the other 3 moves are just good coverage into this matchup. Throat Chop is amazing versus Skeledirge, as well as Dunsparce if it's special, and it just hits Latios really hard. Up next, we have Scarf Kamala. This outruns Weavile creeping Alakazam, and I thought that would be a bring that he would go for, because Alakazam is the fastest mon on my team, so I just have enough for that creep. And then Frustration, Earthquake, Toxic's there to catch Skeledirge. I didn't put Rapid Spin on. I was going to do that instead of Earthquake, but I wanted to be able to damage Mawile so it doesn't just take advantage of me clicking Toxic. So I went with these 4 moves. And then finally, we have Zam. Also because of the fact that his hazard options are literally just T-Spikes on Nidoqueen, which I don't really expect to come. They're not the most amazing into my team, so I figured it would be just rocks coming on either Dunsparce or Mawile. I actually didn't think Nidoqueen was going to be coming to this game because I just kind of beat it down. And then my final mon is Alakazam. 3 attacks, Nasty Plot. The Sash Magic Guard is there in case Quaquaval gets out of hand. It's just a really good way of being an oh shit button into that thing because it threatens my team like no other. Alright, let us jump right into the match. So, my opponent... Oh, right, okay, sorry about that. My opponent elected to bring Latios, Quaquaval, Mawile, Thundurus, which were the 4 I figured were guaranteed. Then he brought Dunsparce and Skeledirge. I figured Skeledirge would come, but I actually thought not the Dunsparce, but actually maybe Dipplin was more likely than the Dunsparce, or actually that he would bring Weavile on that slot. So I'm very happy to see no Weavile. It means that Tinglu is definitely in a much better position. And yeah, it means that Kamala is actually probably the fastest mon on the field if he doesn't have a Scarfer. So I am going to elect to lead with my Kamala because I think he'll expect the Palafin lead and start things off with Thundurus. So, or Latios, and he'll want to get his Terra off as soon as possible. And yeah, I found out that his Latios is actually Terra Water, so I know that that is going to be to check Palafin throughout the game and to dodge the Rage Fist weakness. So that'll be good to keep in mind. It'll probably make Surf way more powerful against Tinglu, so it's a pretty solid option. I actually expected Terra Fighting because it hits Tinglu and Ferrothorn at the same time and is still, it's not weak to Jet Punch, so you can just keep yourself healthy without being weaker. But when he leads with Latios, or Terra Fairy was also another thing, but I didn't think that was very likely. Anyway, he leads with it, and I'm going to try and land a Toxic on this because this thing is going to be a big threat throughout the game if it's Calm Mind or if it's just like Specs or anything. So I'm going to go ahead and just click Toxic as he actually dodges it. So that's a really good start to the game. He's going to flip turn. Now he's going to get a free switch into Mawile, which obviously I don't switch into. As you see, he's Hyper Cutter and not Intimidate because Annihilate. So smart prep on his part. I'm going to bring in my Ninetales as he is going to click Play Rough. This is like the only thing I have on my team that can take a Play Rough until I Terra my Annihilate, but even then, yeah. So Dirge is going to come out. I actually thought he would just kill me with Play Rough and then I could go straight into Annihilate after. But he actually goes into Skeledirge, and that is going to be fine with me because I'm going to get a free switch out here. I'm going to elect to go Kamala because I think he's going to Wisp, predicting my Tinglu to come in, and that's exactly what happens. So I catch him on the Will-O-Wisp, and here I think he'll go into Mawile or something else to dodge the Toxic. So I actually figured, yeah, Mawile was coming in there. I could have Earthquaked, but I didn't want to give Latia or Thundy a free switch in, so I just U-turn out and elect to bring in Tinglu, and I scare him out with an Earthquake. As I go for Throat Chop, trying to catch the Lati coming in, he brings in the Dunsparce, which still works for me because I actually figure that it will be Boom Burst. So he's going to get up his rocks, I'm going to get up my rocks, and then he's going to go for the Glare. As I try to body press him for some chip, it's fine, I get full parried. It doesn't really make a difference whether I body press him on this turn. The only real difference it makes is this Boom Burst chip and the fact that I lose a turn of Veil. But I think he is pretty much forced to roost, so I'm going to bring Palafin in to get off my 0 to hero. Even if he Boom Bursts, I'll be able to tank it. Then I'm going to go ahead and flip turn out, get some chip on this, and then bring in my Kamala on the expected Glare. Unfortunately, he does catch me with a Boom Burst coming in, so I'm going to have to take a big load of damage. So it was a good Boom Burst on his part. I think the switch out was pretty obvious, but I really thought Glare was going to come out there. So out comes the Mawile. I go for Earthquake, predicting that, and then I'm going to double out into Ninetales, trying to dodge the Sucker Punch, and that's exactly what he goes for. So that's really nice. He could have very easily attacked, but I feel like if he didn't Sucker Punch and lost his Mawile for no reason, that was a really bad turn for him. So yeah, I figured he had to Sucker Punch. That was pretty much guaranteed, and that's exactly what he goes for. So I get my Aurora Veil up. As he Play Roughs through, I get to keep my Kamala Sack in the back, which is pretty nice. Here, I think I make my biggest misplay of the game by not Terraing immediately, but it actually ends up working out because I think he forgets. Yeah, he said in chat that he forgot this was my Terra Captain because I didn't Terra in front of this. So I'm going to Drain Punch and knock out the Mawile, and this actually draws out the Lati, which comes in here. And I'm going to Terra, and I'm going to live a Luster Purge as a result of the Terra. He's going to get the drop, so I'm going to get the Defiant boost, and Rest goes off, and I go all the way back to full with the Chesto Berry. So I'm going to be able to kill this Lati as he doesn't Terra, which surprisingly enough. Unfortunately, he's going to get another Spadef drop, unfortunately for me because of the fact, I mean, I get the boost, which is really nice, but I could be in range of Thundurus if he pivots around me effectively. Skeledirge is going to come out. His best hope here, I agree with this play, because if you live the Rage Fist with the roll, then you're actually in a pretty good spot against me. I figure because I still have Zam in the back, Quaquaval's not going to be an issue. I can easily just come in with Palafin, flip turn out. If Quaquaval comes in on the flip turn, then I can just go into Zam, threaten that out, get a kill, make him sack the Dirge, bring in Thundy after, which I figure at this point is probably going to be Scarf. So the way he's keeping it in the back, it's either Scarf or Agility. But unfortunately, all of that is irrelevant as I get the roll to knock him out with the Rage Fist, as I'm pretty sure he had that I think max HP with 100 base power Terra was a roll, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong on that. Quack is going to come out. I think his only way of potentially still having a chance in this game was to go Thundurus, bait out a Rage Fist, and then go back to Thundy on another Drain Punch. But him giving me the Quackleval here pretty much seals the game, as he loses his Palafin answer. So Palafin could just come in. If he did the same pivoting where if he went to Dunsparce on the Rage Fist, then came back with Drain Punch, then Jet Punch was going to actually be able to knock out the Thunderous, I believe, from after the Drain Punch damage. And plus, I still had the full health Zam in the back in this situation. So even if he did the effective pivot and killed my Annihilate with his Thunderous, which I don't think I would have even let him do, I also still had my Tinglu in the back. So I had a lot of counterplay for the Thundy. I had a Sack, I had really good priority, I had Sash Zam, and I had Tinglu left. So once the Quackleval went down, I think that definitely sealed his fate, but he ends up sacking the Dunsparce, then he brings in the Thunderous, goes for the Thunderbolt, and does 60%, but it's not going to be enough as I kill him with a Rage Fist and get 6 kills for Annihilate. So already off to a good start with this thing. It's definitely a much better showcase of this thing's skill and the skill set versus the other 2 times that I've picked it, which I won't even discuss. So next week I play Vinny and let's see what his team name is. I know he has a Deoxys and a Terra Iron Moth, so that'll be fun to prep for. Vinny and the Syracuse Snipies. So we will have fun with that when that comes. I believe we're playing tonight or tomorrow. So yeah, I'll see you all then. Bye-bye. Have a good day.